Welcome to Igniting the Spark. I'm your host, Stephanie James. Listener, I'm so excited to have you here with us today. We have such a special show for you. And while you're listening, just take that moment right now. Take that moment to take a pause, bringing your hand to your heart, taking that deep breath into your heart center, and feel into your heart space. Bringing all your attention. You could imagine that you're just breathing yourself into your body, into your heart at this moment. And as we come to that spot within us, we start to notice we feel more relaxed, we feel more presence. And this is the place where we can connect with the spark, that essence that is us. So taking just that nice deep breath. And now I am so excited to share this conversation with you. I have with me today award-winning Santa Fe-based singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist Martha Reich, and she has performed at venues around the world. Her music transcends tradition and language in a way that is moving, honest, and rare. Each song feels as if she's written it just for you to tell you something important about life. Martha has released 5 albums, and her most recent multi-instrumental CD, Brave Bird, won a gold medal for Female Vocalist in the 2018 Global Music Awards and LA Critics Award for Best Folk Artist. I am so thrilled to have her with us today. Welcome, Martha.
Hi, Stephanie. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you.
Well, it's such a joy. It's been such a treat to get to know you and to be here in Santa Fe with you and get to experience some of your music and some of your art. That's something we're gonna dive into, listeners. Martha is just a wonderful, just talented artist. And Martha, for people that don't know you, give people a little bit of background about. I mean, I'm looking at all these instruments behind you. People that aren't watching this, I mean, there's a cello, there's a banjo, a guitar. Talk a little bit about, I mean, was music always in your soul, or give us a little bit of your journey?
Mhm. Well, I think it always was, but I never planned on, like, sitting in a room with all these instruments and, albums recorded and studio. I never honestly planned on any of that. What's coming to my mind is being a little girl. And when I was young, our family had a Volkswagen Bug. It was powder blue, and I would sit in the back and sing. And and honestly, I was like, "Good, nobody can hear me because the engine's really loud." And I just love to do that. And as time went on, and I got older, I really liked to write poetry. And then I think I was 9 years old where I don't know where it came from, but I said, "I wanna learn how to play the guitar." And, um, and I tell this in other stories, like, I would do air guitar at the kitchen table, and finally my mom said, "Okay, I'll get you a guitar." So she got me a Gibson, no, not a Gibson, um, I think it's a Wurlitzer guitar, which is normally piano. And, anyways, that's how I started. Yeah.
I love that. I love that singing out loud in the Volkswagen. I That's so awesome. And so you could just sing at the top of your lungs and let that amazing energy flow through you.
Well, I didn't sing at the top of my lungs, that's the other part of my story. I was very shy, and,
Oh.
I sang very quietly. And I think it was really just for me. Like I said, I never planned on any of this. And, um but I like to sing, and I eventually like to write music and sing it and play music. And, but I had to learn, to sing loudly and to really sing out for people and for myself, to let it out. And I think I've heard that you're a singer too. Is that right, Stephanie?
I am, and so I was probably just, projecting my own, love of just singing out loud.
Great.
Something I still do in the car to this day. I love to crank
Um,
up the music, and if I'm a road trip or even driving
yes.
into town from the country where I live and it takes 20 minutes, and I love to just crank up the radio and sing.
I love that you do that, and I when I was, I guess in my late 20s, I used to commute. I lived in Massachusetts, and I used to commute to work, and I think that was, like, my main vocal lessons because I did like what you did. I would turn on the radio. I remember singing to Sarah McLachlan, I loved Patty Griffin, and because nobody was there, I would just sing really loud, and I enjoyed it so much. Yeah.
Love that. I love it. Yes. Well, and so then what took this to the next level for you when you started writing music and you started performing?
Yeah, so, I guess again, it was in like my 20s or my mid-20s. Like I started, well, I think what it was even before that or around that time, I started seeing musicians perform in Massachusetts at like, folk musicians and those kind of venues and very intimate. But what I experienced was them singing and telling their stories or how they experienced the world. And I just went, yep, that's what I want to do. And I started doing it like at open mics, like I'd practice at home and I'd sing the songs that, um, I was writing, and boy, I sounded so good at home, you should have heard it. And then I'd go to the open mic and I mean, I was just starting, but I was so nervous, but something in me, I think because I started writing, I just really wanted to express how I felt, and, after hearing the other people, I something told me that it's okay. Like, it's okay if you do it in a song. Um, I mean, maybe someone will throw something at me or go, "Boo," I don't know, but most likely they wouldn't, and, and it was almost easier, even though I was nervous, to do it in a song than to just do it in, like, so-called normal life, like, to and so even though I was nervous, I wanted to something in me said, "You're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna keep doing it." And eventually, I asked people for advice, "How do you do this and not get so nervous?" And I learned things, and I really enjoy it now, and I really enjoy connecting with the people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful medium where truly and I can say this from experience because I went to that beautiful I don't know if you remember when Eb and I, a mutual
Yes.
friend of ours, we went to this beautiful it was they had the venue was at someone's beautiful home, and different singer-songwriters took turns. I mean, it was this beautiful evening of music and depth, and so, I mean, what a so this outlet I'm hearing for you of sharing your soul, sharing your heart, and what was it that helped you to let the nervousness go? What were any of those tools or tips that helped?
I really owe to a fellow musician friend that he said, "People are on your side. Like, they don't want you." It's like, "They are? They don't want you to be bad," they're and I was like, "Oh, wow." And then also also it was about, like you say, your spark and just be yourself and also just be honest. Like, um, and that really helped because if I missed a word or I forgot, what I was supposed to be singing, sometimes I would just say that. Like instead of like trying to pretend, oh wait, I got to get this together, I would just be like, "Ps," or, or I would put something funny in, and it relaxed me. I think it relaxed the audience because I was just being human and not trying to be perfect, um, and, uh and even I guess what I'm learning too is we are perfect even in our mistakes, but when the audience or the people hear you see that, "Oh, she's human too, and she forgets things," it connects you again. It's like and I don't know. So that really helped me. That really helped me a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I love that because it's giving people permission to be fully human,
Yes.
and that is that connecting point that, yeah, we're all imperfectly perfect,
Yes.
you know?
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So, what were early influences for you? And I know that that's changed and continued to manifest in different ways, but what were the early influencers for you?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking, like, when I was really young, I can't remember who it was, but I would sing, like, "I got a brand new pair of roller skates," Was that I forgot
Yes.
her name. "She got a brand new key," and then, I don't know, like, certain songs, "I'm leaving on a jet plane," things like that, like, when I was really young, and then afterwards, I mean, sometimes even, like, Shawn Cassidy, I don't know why I'm like, "Oh my god," but then I really loved Elton John, and, not that I think what it was listening and Bernie Taupin was the lyricist for Elton John, and, um, I would listen to the lyrics, they meant so much to me as well as the music, and then I actually started drawing him and other musicians, then it was like I said earlier, Patty Griffin I loved, and I loved her first album, I think it's called Living with Ghosts, it was just her and her guitar, and I
Mhm.
used to cover her songs at gigs, and, Sean Colvin, Billy Joel, I don't know, I'm forgetting people, but and and as time goes on, I actually I love the Beatles, then later on, believe it or not, I didn't discover Joni Mitchell till I was, I think, in my 30s, which is kinda crazy. I must have heard her, but, not really, like,
Yeah.
loving her and just, like, really so
Yeah.
yeah. So those were kinda my influences, yeah.
Which is so great. I mean, you and I are such music soul sisters. I mean, we're soul
Right?
sisters anyway, but I'm listening to you and I'm just giggling over here because I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I had Elton
What did you
John's
really?
Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album. And,
Love that.
those were the days where it had all the lyrics printed out in
Yes.
the album cover, and I would play that album over and over and over and just
Oh my
sing along. Same thing with the Beatles. I mean, so many of those were early influencers of and, they were heart openers. Like you were saying, you connect with the words and they're so meaningful.
Yes, yes. I love that we have the same we're gonna have to do, like, let's do a, Elton John or Beatles, like, cover show or something.
I love it. Elton John, I'm in. Well, and I love singing Blackbird. I mean, that's one of my favorite
Oh my gosh, I had to
Beatles
just
songs.
learn that song for a actually for a funeral or memorial, and it's
Oh,
hard. It's I mean, on the guitar,
on the
but
guitar. Yeah.
yeah, but I did it. You
I
know? That
love it. I love that. Yes. Well,
yes.
and so then what we were talking about a little bit before we got on the air was about also the art for you. And so I heard you say, like, you started drawing Elton John. And and eventually, I only know this just right now from before we got on the interview, that you went to art school.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks for, you know, mentioning that, let's talking about that. I did, so when I was in high school, I actually they it was a great high school, you could major in music or art or and in high school, though I love music, I majored in art, so, um, the music was kind of the secret thing I did at home, but and then when it was time to go to college, I mean, honestly, hey, my mom thought you do better if you went to art school than the music thing. Why don't you go for that? So I said, "Okay, I will," and, because I loved art, and I applied to 3 schools, Parsons School of Design, Philadelphia College of Art, and RISD, and to brag on myself, I got into all of them, but I really
Sweet.
wanted to go to yeah, I went to New York City to Parsons because I was really kind of a country kid from Connecticut, and I thought New York is where it kind of all happens, and a lot does happen there. So I went there and, but I the music and the art were always in my life, and there was one time when I stopped playing guitar for a while, and then when I went to pick it up, I was like, "Oh, no," like, I forgot so much, and I made this promise to myself, "Don't ever stop playing it,
Mm.
like, no matter what you're doing, just always play that," and I've pretty much done that, or I play another instrument, as you can see. Well, but
Yes.
yeah, like, I would draw, I don't know why, I guess I would draw all the musicians that I drew a cover of Billy Joel's album, The Stranger, I think, and Elton John all the time, maybe Paul McCartney, but once I went to art school, then I started expressing myself, but I went to school for illustration, and I loved working in all kinds of mediums, so, yeah, sculpture, and I could go on all kinds of mediums, yeah.
Well, and again, just to share, with the listeners, last week I went to this beautiful Sweetwater Harvest cafe that actually Martha and I went there the first time that we hung out and yeah,
Right.
had lunch together. And they had Martha's artwork displayed. She had an art showing and it was so sweet and so I one of the things I love the colors, number 1. But I also love that it's like this mixed medium of both music and also these, beautiful pictures that you did of it's these meaningful things. Like you said, like one of the cats in the pictures was Woody. And talk a little bit
Yes.
about how Woody has influenced your
Oh,
music and yeah, and
yeah,
and
yeah.
obviously art as well.
Thank you. Yeah, now so many things are coming to my mind. Well, before I go into like Woody and my art and music, I also had I was part of a simultaneous show at the Zane Bennett Gallery in Santa Fe, which really showed my love of art and music. So I love photography as well. So there was a picture, um, well, I'll back up a little bit. The name of the show was Search for Radiance in the Grotesque, and it was, curated young curators. It was this after-school high school program put on by Site Santa Fe, and they called for artists, and I applied, and I got in. Each artist had 1 piece, and there was, like, 31 artists, but this piece has music of mine, a song called "I'd Rather Be Surprised," which had a CD player, and you could play the song, and the image was this older couple that was in hospice, which I actually played music for, and then underneath was the lyrics, and it's mixed media, rice paper, and I made, and so I really is it really showed, and if you go to my website under my art, you can see that piece, um, but it really showed my love for visual arts and music and combining them, and so then I'll go quick to Woody, how Woody got to the
So
picture.
great. No, thank you for that.
Yeah, so Woody, um I had Woody, blessed to live with him for 15 years, and he was a real wild one as a kitten, and actually, there was a time when it's like having terrible twos like a kid, which I never had a child like that, but it was like, "Oh my gosh," it's like, no sleep, and, "Can I keep him?" And he's crazy, but he became my constant companion, and I'll probably cry. But he also loved my music so much, and through the years, he has a song which I've yet to record. Well, he has one song called combination song called Woodrow Wilson Got Nothing on You, which is a combo love song for Woody and my husband Greg. So, but he does have another song that I wrote after he passed away called Woody's Lullaby. But and so my experience with Woody I'd start playing music and he'd always be there. When I was writing, when I was recording, he was just always there, and he kinda I guess he became kinda my muse, and I would videotape him, because he loved to listen to it, and he would just relax and, like, meditate, and no matter what it was, cello or guitar or gosh, I'm so grateful for him. So he was in many, many videos, and I was like, "Yeah, let's just show him. I don't wanna show me." And so so, and, I never painted him until after he died. So, which is interesting, but that's okay, and so I did this artist retreat in Nova Scotia, and I painted a little drawing of him, and that was at Sweetwater, a mixed media drawing, and then I had this vision, even before I got there. I was gonna do this painting of him in a little boat, and he was gonna go out to see the sea that I saw every day when I was there, and I did a little sketch when I was there. When I came home, I did that drawing that you saw. And it was my way of letting him be free, go free, Woody out
Mhm.
to sea. So that's yeah, so he's still so big in my life. Yeah, and I know
Oh,
he's probably, like, here right now going, "Yeah, I'm right with there with you." So
that's right, that's right. They're still with
Yep.
us, and I do have to say, though, I think that was my favorite. I
Oh,
really loved that picture. It just really touched my heart, and it's so wonderful to hear the story behind it.
thank you, and thank you so much. I think it's probably one of my favorites too, and, I like the 2 deer too, but the thing
Yeah,
that's
they were
I
so
found interesting about that drawing is when I asked people what feeling they got when they looked at it, everybody said something different, which is really, interesting. Like, some people said hopeful, some people said calm, one person said uncertainty, and then, like, I shared it on Facebook, and people said at first they thought it was whimsical, and then the more they looked at it, they thought they got, like fear, scared, and then, like, sadness. So, I actually love that, that art can bring up those kind of feelings. Like, I thought I could only do that in music, but now I'm seeing that's not true. It can do it in art, visual art as well. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, so beautiful because it's evoking that emotion that and
Yeah.
that it's not just one person's experience, just like music doesn't land with us just one way in every individual, it's a unique experience,
Right. Yeah.
and that's so beautiful, I love that. Well, and I love too that you had shared with me that music is one of the things that brought you and your husband. Oh, there's Woody on the mug, I love that.
Oh, look at I have to show there's
Oh,
Woody's mug.
yeah, those of you that are watching this, it's so sweet. She's got a mug with her kitty cat. But music is what also brought you and your husband, Greg Brayden, together.
That is so true. Yeah, so I was playing and I didn't know of Greg at all before I met him, and, so I was playing at it's an old Annapurna in Santa Fe, um and I hadn't actually played in a while, and I was kinda nervous, but anyways, I was playing, and I was doing experimental songs and stuff, and this man came in, and I didn't know who he was, and I had a lot of friends there and stuff, and he introduced himself to me at the break, and he was very nice, and that's how we met. Yeah. Yeah.
Which is just great, and I love that you didn't know who he was because that makes it just really real, and that connection was so real.
Yeah, and he didn't know who I was either.
Yeah, you guys you were just 2 beautiful souls coming together, and how long ago was that?
That was like, gosh, it might be like 16 or yeah, it's going on like 16, 17 years ago or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
that's
Greg
really
is
beautiful.
also a huge fan of he's a musician himself. So, yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know that. So do you play together?
We used to play together quite a bit, but we don't so much anymore. Yeah. We've kind of gone different directions and he's kind of a I don't know, rocker. Yeah, he's more of a rocker and I'm more of a I don't know how to say it. I'm just more mellow. Yeah. So
Well, you have this beautiful folky vibe, that's just and I don't know if I told you that the last band that I sang with was modern folk. So that's
Oh,
what we did. We did covers We didn't do any original music at the time, but we did a lot of the same thing, Indigo Girls. We even did some old John Denver,
Oh, that's
because it was so
great.
fun, and Mumford& and Sons, and some Train, some Decemberists, but, um, yeah, so I mean, that's your music, just me personally touches my heart so much because I just love that genre.
Yeah, yeah, I love it too. I just like that concert that you went to, with the other women, I just so enjoyed I think it's the stories, right? The stories from the heart. And when people really play from their heart, I really love that. I personally, as a listener, wanna be touched in my heart. And if it doesn't really I mean, I like to dance and stuff too, but I don't know, I just love that stuff, and if it makes me cry, I'm just like, "Yeah, I love it." I don't know, so
Yep. I love that though, because I turn on music when my day's done and I'm cooking in the kitchen, and
Yeah.
I wanna listen to something where I'm feeling something.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's times I
Yes.
choose, like, okay, I'm gonna do upbeat music. I want, something that's,
Yeah.
jazzing me up here. But so often I'm choosing your style of music, and that kind of like, oh, this is making me, I'm feeling, and it's touching a certain place in me as I'm listening and as I'm doing these things.
Can I
So,
ask
yeah.
who you're listening to? Can I ask
So,
who you're listening to?
oh, of course. Well, so what's interesting is, well, I sent, remember yesterday or the day before I sent you that gentleman
Oh, yeah,
Freedom to the Form?
that was beautiful.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
would literally have to pull out my phone and give you all the different names, but
Yeah.
I have a song list. I'm gonna send it to you after we get off this,
Okay, cool.
which is because I'm so not into, I don't know all the modern people. I
Yeah.
really don't, and so I'll get onto Spotify and kind of plug in, okay, modern folk or whatever, and then I get this beautiful song list,
There you go.
and so
Yeah.
that's what I have. I mean, I've loved people like Xavier Rudd, um,
Okay.
oh, I'll turn you on to him.
Yeah.
Um, gosh, my mind is drawing a blank. Travis Hill. There we go.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
so, there, yeah. So there's several, and I will definitely, and listeners will have a list if you guys wanna have, I'll connect you to my Spotify list,
Oh,
listeners, so you
that'd be
can join
great.
in as well. Um, because those artists, and I was in a Kundalini yoga class last fall, and the woman that ran it gave us specific music that was very high vibrational from
Yeah.
all these different artists that I was not familiar with at all. But some of those songs were even, they're like affirmations. Like if you,
Yeah.
okay, here's one of the people that are coming to me that I love is like Mom Muse or
Oh,
Beautiful
yes.
Chorus.
Yes, yes, I know her
Yes.
then. Yes.
So both of those are just like, ugh. I mean, I love it. I feel it. Um,
They're very positive and uplifting, and yeah, that's beautiful. I I've been listening to, actually, Greg and I went to his concert, Ryan Adams,
oh, yeah,
not Brian, but Ryan Adams,
right.
and
Yes.
wow, that and, he I just really loved it. He has a lot of sad songs, but I just love it. So I'll listen to music, other musicians when I paint. That's really
Oh,
helpful.
nice.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
just to have that kinda flow, you know?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Martha, what's ahead for you right now? What creative, energy is percolating within you and wanting to be expressed right now?
Yeah. Well, I am working on a new album, and, it's called, In Poetry of Forget-Me-Nots, and I have all the songs, so next is really recording, uh, I've kind of got a few songs in the lineup there and in the queue, and so doing that, I am playing at, Celebration, I don't know if to call it church, it's called The Celebration on Sunday, April 12th, yep, in Santa Fe, if you happen to be here, and I'm just gonna do a couple songs, otherwise, I am working on paintings, And yeah, so I'm still doing art and music and always working on myself at the same time.
Isn't that the truth, though? Isn't that the truth? I mean, and, e we were just talking about this at lunch a couple days ago, about it's like, as long as we have breath in our bodies, it's like, hopefully, we're gonna continue to work on ourselves because it's never finished. It's not that we have to be critical or that we have to be like, "Oh, I'm not good enough." It's not that energy. It's saying,
Right.
as long as I'm here, there's potential to grow.
I love that, and I just wanna say I so appreciate you, Stephanie, for what you do in the world and really the spark and how you help us to find that within ourselves and everywhere. I just really appreciate you and what you do.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
and
Martha.
you're welcome, and thanks for asking me to have this little chat with you, so I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate it too. We had talked about it a long time ago, and it's just such a joy to have you here and to just share some of your light and your
Mhm.
spark with all the listeners. So, before we wrap up, Martha, if you had one essential message that you wanted to share with the listeners to just intuitively let that come up, what would that be?
Um, what's coming to me is first was just always share from your heart. Don't be afraid to share what's going on in your heart, but also listen to your heart. That's it. Just follow your heart and it'll never steer you wrong.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful message. Beautiful. Martha, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Just sending you so much love. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.